What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we get started, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. Welcome to the show. What is going on, chat? Let's see what we got going on this beautiful Tuesday, July 1st. First day of the month, a fresh quarter, the second half of the year. Let's hop on to these charts. We are here on the Project X platform with Top 1 Futures. We have a 7-pack of 150K accounts daisy chained together. Gonna see if we can't do some damage here. Good morning. Good morning. The guy, what's up? Chuck, what's up? Good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Ralph. Good morning, Wolf. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Christy. If you want me to say good morning to you, keep going in the chat. I'm happy to do it. I appreciate you guys hopping on here almost every day. Here, I'll throw that banner up. Subscribe for live trading. We are live here on YouTube. We're live on Kick. We're live on X. We're live everywhere. That's the name of the game. Appreciate you guys jumping on. So let's take a look and see what we got going on. We have quite a bit of news coming the rest of this week. We got a holiday week. We got what's this new XP thing? I don't know, Wolf. What are we looking at on YouTube or on? Ooh, I don't know what this is. What is this? I don't know what this is. YouTube's doing something funky. I don't know. Something weird on YouTube, chat. How come you have more XP than me? I have no idea what this is. Crown with a number 1. What is this? Top chat, top fans? I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out. You guys comment on YouTube. Maybe you'll get something special from YouTube. I don't really know what that is, but we'll have to check that out in a little bit. So let's see what we got going on here. I'll also throw some of your guys' chats up on the screen. We'll be chatting, we'll be talking. So looking at the daily chart, I like to zoom out to the daily chart here. This is ES, trading ES here, again on Project X through Top 1 Futures. Looks like stream is good. Awesome, yeah. Going to be checking this out. Again, copy trading over $1 million in capital here with Top 1 Futures, seeing if we can't do some damage in a good way. Damage in a good way. So we've been really just continuing this drive to the upside. Yesterday, we did not come down and close this gap. Opening of the week, you can see prior day low down here at 62.23 and a quarter. We gapped up, continued to push to the upside, chopped around a little bit, and kind of closed down with a really high wick up, the high of that candle being 62.65 and a half. Today, we are opening up inside. We haven't broke prior day high, haven't broke prior day low, and we are in between the overnight range, coming back down to test that off of the open right now. Let's talk about, back on the 1 minute, my preferred trading time frame. Again, this is, got a couple people on here asking some different questions. Is Uncle Powell's speech now? Powell Uncle's speech. I'm sorry. There you go, Wolf. Yes, it is, which is about what I'm ready to start talking about here. Just wanted to see if this market was going to really start to sell off into the open, but we're not getting that just yet. So yesterday we had a no news Monday. Today, let's take a look at Forex Factory together, my preferred financial news site. You can tell that I used to trade Forex. I'm coming over from this one. You can check whatever you want. You can check Market Watch. I think Financial Juice is really solid for that like up to the minute breaking stuff. If you subscribe, you can get really, really quick alerts. I think you can even get Squawk from them. But I'm not partnered or affiliated with this site. It just gives a nice listed way, which I like to filter for, and I'm just trained on paying attention to it. We got Jerome Powell speaking. This one could be dicey. You could read about it right here if you want to understand really what it is. I just know that when he's talking, we are at an increased risk of wild volatility in the markets. So that's pretty much going on throughout this session. I'm going to trade, right? I'm here trading, so that's not reason for me to just say, you know what, I'm not going to mess with this Tuesday. Opening of the month, of the quarter, Powell speaking, I'm still going to show up. This one's another problem. We got red folder at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's coming up here in just about 20 minutes. So this could be dicey. It's actually listed as 2 red folder and an orange folder, a medium impact. But it's all coming out at one shot, so that's that 10 a.m. time frame we got to worry about. The rest of the week also looking kind of dicey. 8:15 red folder tomorrow, but outside of that, pretty clear. Thursday is kind of a nightmare. Red folder at 8:30. It's NFP, unemployment. Red folder again at 10. And then this is an early close. We have the bank holiday. Markets are closed. U.S. markets are closed on Friday, July 4th. We have an early close. U.S. stock market closes at 1 p.m. Bond markets close at 2 p.m. That could cause some issues, could be some problems for this right here. So Thursday, Friday, not looking too hot. I'm going to be trading through the week to the best of my abilities. But today, focusing up, we've got Jerome Powell speaking. That could be a problem. I'm going to trade through it. Just going to be aware that at any point I could throw a trade on and be immediately stopped out. 10 a.m. news. Going to be aware of that. If we find something that looks sweet coming into that, I might run it through a jolts, but that's a dicey play. It's a dicey play, right? Could end up in a really aggressive stop out or really aggressive move in favor, but important to note those things. So that's what we got coming into today. Really want to pay attention to 10 a.m. red folder. And yeah, that 9:45 final manufacturing, I'm not really worried about that. But that 10 a.m. Red folder is what I'm looking at. Along with that, we've got headline markets that we've been in, just really volatile to work with, tough to work with headline markets. We've got Trump that comments on tariffs or what's going on in the Middle East or Canada or, like anything can send the market these days. There is conflict in the Middle East, obviously, that impacted the markets pretty heavily, right? So all of these contribute to just some wild markets to trade, even coming into the summer slump, right? What we often refer to as summer slowdown, summer slump. So going to be watching these, seeing what we can do. Nothing crazy, right? Not looking to jump into anything too wild. Same thing that we did yesterday. Stayed patient, waited for a setup to come, waited for what I wanted to see personally on the charts. Jumped in, stayed patient, consolidated, actually moved in favor, then came back, and then came out on top about $2,100, $2,200 across these 7-pack of accounts, right? $309 in each one. So here we are right back up to VWAP. We sold off coming into this open. A little bit of analysis coming into the 9:40 a.m. time frame. If you know me, you know I don't like to jump directly in first 5-10 minutes of the open. I let the gamblers, the algos, everybody sort it out, duke it out first. But here's what I'm looking at coming into today, right? Session changeover, we popped. Then we really sold off. Nothing crazy, but we kind of drifted lower, right? Not cracking below the prior days. Where's my prior day range? Right, yeah, it's coming off the open. Not really even cracking below these session lows here. Got close. But we sold off through Asia and London, sold off in pre-market into the open, and now we've retraced right back to VWAP. Pretty classic move, nothing crazy. Pretty standard stuff out of these markets. This could be a hangout for the next, few minutes. Watch to see what happens through 10 a.m. But I'm going to be looking for some trades right here, right now. Looking at, and I see you guys chatting. I'll be following up in just a minute. Right here, right now, I could see a potential move like a sweep of prior day low, a sweep of overnight high, sweep of prior day high. I wouldn't mind a kind of a reversion trade. We're pretty even keel on Bookmap. Meaning we have orders to the upside and downside. Let me go ahead and show you guys Bookmap. Trying to do a better job of that because I talk about it and a lot of people ask me to see it. So this is Bookmap. Yeah, Powell is speaking right now, guys. I'm looking at the chat. Powell is speaking right now. We could be in for some volatility. Again, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with Bookmap. If you want to check out Bookmap, I will throw the link in the chat. I'm not going to give you too much insider information because this is pretty obvious, but we do have 4th of July coming up. A lot of these companies like to run deals. I would keep your eyes on everything. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say. But that link right there right now gets you the best deals available on Bookmap. This is an order flow tool. If you don't know what we're looking at, very, very simple. Price levels, quantity of orders on the book, above and below price. This is essentially just a traditional DOM, a depth of market, and it's displayed by way of a heat map. Now, you could make this like really complicated and complex and talk about market narrative and, market auction theory and different reasons behind why everything's happening. I like to look at it like an idiot, like a dumb guy, and just say, hey, look, there's a big stack of orders up here at this nice round psychological number, 5250. I think we're likely to see some volume traded, maybe some volatility if we come up to these orders, right? Along with that, like I was talking about yesterday and end of last week when we watched Friday, CVD, a lot of guys watch cumulative volume delta. I've just had my eyes on it over to the side, really not utilizing it in any way because I just didn't have enough experience staring at it. But for me on this one, I'm starting to pay attention to it. It can be helpful, showing you the difference between buying and selling volume. It's anchored to a specific point in time. For me, it's right around that 7 a.m. time frame. But right now, looking at Bookmap, like I said, pretty even keel, meaning we've got orders above and below price, right? Nothing massively stand out. If I zoom out, we could see a little bit more as we get farther away, all the way down to like these 6180s and all the way up to the 6300s. But right now, right here, above and below price, we got orders to the downside and orders to the upside. We may go grab either side of this. If we continue to sell off, where's like the last man standing? Where's the last kind of buy orders before we start to thin out, at least for right now, right? Because this does change in real time. For me, that's down around that prior day low level, right? Right down around the 6220s, right? We got prior day low at 6223 and a quarter. We go down and fill that gap maybe towards the 6215s. I could see a reversion after a sweep below that level. Lines up with levels of structure, key areas of interest on my chart. I could look for a long somewhere down around that, right? Flowing with higher time frame, trend to the upside, maybe coming back towards, getting pretty dark here. We got that 945 medium impact, a little bit more data coming out right now. But I could see a sweep of these levels and maybe a long, right? Just kind of framing out some trades. To the upside, again, we come all the way back up. We go and check out all the way up here to the 62, 65 and a half. So that would be a pretty nice drive up from where we are right now, right? Trading the 6240s. I could see a short, really aggressive, right? We kind of chop around. We put some more structure in. I'm going to look for a trade like yesterday, right? Just kind of wait to see what happens, and then we'll have more data. But right here, right now, pretty much the same plays that I always have, a reversion off the highs or the lows of pre-market, of prior day, of areas of interest, of levels of liquidity on Bookmap. Very simple. Kind of that back to VWAP trade, right? Back to the area of high volume. Nothing proprietary, nothing really new. I didn't come up with that on my own. It's pretty simple, very, very similar to the way a lot of guys trade because it seems to work. So it works well enough for me. So let's jump back over here to the Top 1 Futures Project X chart. There we go. Get this thing zoomed out. Make sure we reset VWAP. Yeah, this could be a choppy day. 10 a.m. news might drop, but we have this holiday week. We have NFP later this week. More information. I could see some chop. We've had a lot of movement through last week into this week to the upside. I could see a correction. I'm pretty unbiased on this, so right at VWAP, nothing for me to do at all. I really don't see anything setting up here beautifully in the next couple minutes, but we'll hang out and watch. So again, just to review what I'd be looking for, potentially let me just reset something on this side. Potentially a reversion style trade up off of overnight high. I'd be looking at the 50s for the first case of this. Liquidity starts to dry up here, but if we really started to drive, I could see a reversion play off of any of these levels up here. To the downside, it would be down around prior day low. I'd want to see it off the 20s. If I'm dead wrong, I think we sell off really aggressively and I take a stop to the downside. So that's kind of it. Wait and see what happens as we start to crack VWAP here to the upside. If you're heavy long bias, maybe now's your opportunity. You say, hey, you know what? We drifted lower. Gives me a good entry price down here into the 40s. Stop loss down way down here, and I'm going to run this bad boy long. I'm going to get long into red folder news, and if that's your play, I don't think that that's a terrible opportunity setting up for you. Not really beautiful by my metrics, but different ways to do this. Plenty of different ways to trade. Let's see. Pal speaking. Yep. Dollar index falling like a shooting star. Here, we'll throw some of these up. What's up, guys? We'll throw some of these on the stream. What's up, my man? Aaron, are London high and low? I don't know. I don't have those two marked out on my chart. What I mark out is overnight high and overnight low. What I call overnight high and overnight low. That's going to be the session, the area that price trades from session changeover, right? This is 6 p.m. Eastern, all the way up until, my overnight low is off. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, it's not. Sorry. Yes, it is. Good call, brother. Great call. I'm assuming that's why you were asking that. Let me go ahead and throw my my magnet tool on here. Look at that. That might have reset as I swapped back and forth, but no excuses. Play like a champion. Yeah, so my overnight low, this is good. This is a good question. Let's check prior day high and low as well. Yeah, prior day low coming off the low, prior day high coming off the high. Overnight low, good correction. Overnight high and overnight low, what I call overnight high and overnight low. Some people call these things pre-market. You could call it Globex. The area that price trades from session changeover up until 9:30 a.m. So I really do have to be adjusting this all the way up until NYSE open, right over here. But this low put in here at 8:26 a.m., that's going to be the low of what I call overnight, right? Because it's overnight for me. I'm here in Eastern time, New York time. And this is going to be my high. So my overnight high at 62.57 and 3/4. My overnight low at 62.27 and 1/4. Nice, nice, nice. Dollar index, sights on gold. No, nothing on gold. Pal speaking, we did talk about that. The guy says pal speaking. Let's see. Is the ES order flow and book map that streamed on YouTube useful, or does it lag? Scott, it does lag. It does lag. And as a book map partner and affiliate, I think I would really be doing them and you guys a disservice to tell you that that's a good option. I think they probably don't like those guys doing that, and that they just make money on ad revenue doing that. And Bookmap probably tries to take them down. The same way that I just showed you it here, it's helpful in the sense, kind of like from a zoomed out metric, to take a quick glance and like maybe you could just take a look at what it is going on if you have like no idea. But it lags, right? A lot. You know, even in ultra low latency, the way that I run my YouTube streams right now, it still lags a considerable amount. So I don't think it's that helpful. That stuff changes quickly, same way that price action and market structure prints, and we want to know what's going on right here, right now. That's what I'd be looking at, the live data. So it does lag. Again, I think like in a pinch, maybe your book map's down or you're traveling, you just want to like hop on real quick to take a look at it. Maybe you just kind of get a feel for where huge orders are just real quick. But it's not something I would utilize and rely on. A lot of guys say, "Oh, Bookmap's free on YouTube," and I'm like, "Yeah, like, would you watch a price chart on YouTube streaming with that kind of delay? Probably not." So, you know, that's the thoughts there. What's the crown thing? I don't know. YouTube's doing something funky with the the chat, so I don't really know. But here we come up to the 6250s. I see we got a couple more people chatting here. Hang tight. Hang tight. We got a couple more people hopping on, chatting. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Watching these 6250s, I don't know that I want to run anything short. Again, we are about 7.5 minutes to red folder news, high impact news in the financial markets. That could be dicey. That could be really dicey. So I am cautious of that. The 6250s maybe on another day, what we just traded up to could line up for a short, but we do have overnight high here coming off of these highs. This isn't a bad level, right? Coming into this area right here. Yeah, we almost traded it for a reversion trade. Kind of the first area that I start looking back to VWAP. How much room is it really? Yeah, it's really not that much to the upside. Not that much to the upside. Yeah, I still like this this looks like we're going to make it through news, right? 9:53 a.m. Eastern right now as I'm speaking, coming up in on a couple minutes, 10 a.m. red folder news. I'd prefer not to run a trade right through it, right? I'm pretty tight on stop. I don't have a lot of room to survive a lot of volatility, excuse me. Overnight high being up here at 62.57 and 3/4, prior day high. I'd want to see a little bit of a drive higher before I look to aggressively short this thing back down to VWAP. We start to chop around, this is going to get kind of ugly here. So, not a whole lot for me to do just yet. I want to see what happens if we start popping these orders, though. Again, I'd be looking aggressively short on another day, maybe like really aggressively around that overnight high level. Today with red folder news, unless I'm in something, sitting in profit or just kind of holding through it, I really don't like to dive headfirst in ahead of it. So probably just going to be hanging out. But what's going on? Andrew, what's up? Afternoon. CJ, hi all. What's up? Ralph, hanging out in Kick. Welcome to the show. Yeah, so the giveaway will be everywhere. And guys, I'm streaming on Kick nowadays. If you want to hop in there, help me out. I think this is second stream. Second stream ever. Yesterday was the first one. So you guys want to hop on Kick and get that show started, that'll be pretty cool. I'm just looking to make this stream available for everybody across platforms, whatever your preferred platform is. Yeah, you will get the giveaway form everywhere, right? I will drop the giveaway form in all platforms that I'm streaming. It's unbiased. So if you like hanging out on X, we're streaming on Twitter. I got a handful. We got like 22 people on there right now. I had like 40 something yesterday. Got 40 something on YouTube. I can't even see Kick how many people are on there, but I think it's only a few. But yeah, we'll jump on and do the giveaway for everyone across these. And just to keep it somewhat centralized, 100% free trading Discord, right? Run the Discord community. Got almost 2,000 members in there. If you guys are new to the show, more than happy to have you in Discord. Not a VIP feeder program, not to try to sell you a course. I run it free 99, right? I'll throw that one in there right now. Let's see. I always thought it was behind. Yeah, it's behind. It's behind, right? Scott traded a time where you only had 30-minute. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, right? Way back in the day, calling in orders to your broker and that all fun stuff. Emro, hey bro. Wish you a green day with big profits. Listen, man, we'll see what the market has for me today. Appreciate you. I wish you the same. Wolf took a short and got clobbered. Took a short and got clobbered. That's tough. And fractions. Oh man, way back. Number of likes for the giveaway. Will it solely be YouTube? I think you guys know I'm pretty flexible with that. But I think it'll be like overall. What I'll do is I'll set a like count, and if everybody smashes like across different platforms, I'll run it when we hit that total like count as we start to grow across different platforms. It was just on YouTube because I was always just streaming on YouTube, but now got set up here with StreamYard. We're running this bad boy across a whole bunch of stuff. So it'll be cumulative. Wherever you smash like will count. How about that? So yeah, watching this thing turn from the 50s. Again, guys, we have about 3 minutes to red folder news. Want to be a little bit cautious coming into that. I'm not in a trade. Didn't have anything beautiful set up. So nothing crazy just yet. We're kind of hanging tight watching this get ready to jump. Don't know if they're... Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a noob with Kick, so I really don't know. There's followers, which I think is like you following a channel, viewers, and I don't know if there's likes. I think you can do like subs and stuff on Kick and like support the channel and stuff, but I'm not worried about any of that. I appreciate you hopping on there, man. Helps start to grow a different platform, but I'm going to run it there every day. I think it's pretty cool. And it comes in real high quality and low latency from what I've seen. So I like that. I like the nice low latency, high quality stuff. And then I think X Twitter is just convenient if you're hanging out on Twitter. I'm back to paper trading after blowing my eval. I feel like I should trade more, but already got 2 good wins in pre-market, so I'm tempted to call it a day. Yeah, I'd slow it down, man. I think trading, as we're watching this market kind of just chop around, guys. Again, I know I repeat myself a lot, but if I'm paying attention and I think it might be some volatility, red folder news. If you're running a trade, I would have your stop set. I would accept the risk that you have on right now. 10 a.m., red folder news event. We are getting ready to come into that, so I'd be cautious. But yeah, nothing wrong with calling it a day, Luca. If you're paper trading, I would just paper trade the way that, however you paper trade, whatever your system, your approach is, right? But, if you had a tough morning and then you got 2 wins in pre-market, you probably did a lot, right? So that decision fatigue starts to set in. Nothing wrong with just chilling out. It's going down now. Damn market makers and their hunts. Yeah. Well, market makers hunting stops, right? Train with Lewin. What's up, man? Hope you're okay with me asking your opinion on funded next futures. Yeah, I don't have too much opinion. Let me give you my thoughts. From what I've seen out of them, they are a Forex. Am I thinking of the right company? Hang on one second. I want to think of making sure because I remember everybody from the logos. Yeah, funded. Yeah, so they're like a Forex and CFD giant. They've been around for a long period of time. From what I've seen, they are always on top of Payout Junction. I'm thinking of the right people, and I think they are probably going to be a pretty big player. From what I've seen so far, objectively, I don't think they have a really competitive offering. I don't think they have something that is really great from a price to rules perspective. Looking at the evaluation model. Here we go, red folder news coming in right now, guys. Let me pause that. Ooh, immediate wick down to VWAP, and then just a crazy candle printing. Obviously, a decent amount of volume being traded. Let's just take a look. Happy I'm not in anything. If I got short right up here, that would have paid back to VWAP for a nice 10-point, but we didn't even hit the 50s. We traded 249.5 at the best, so didn't even hit the liquidity up there. But yeah, watching this thing kind of just wick around. Again, same place for me, looking short as we crack up to the upside aggressively back towards VWAP, but this thing's kind of chopping at VWAP here, so I don't know how this is going to shape up for today. This could be kind of dicey. Still going to look. We are no trade so far. Got plenty of capital to work with in these, so going to be looking for something, but waiting to see what sets up. So yeah, we were talking about funded next. I think it's going to be a pretty good option from what I saw so far. Not like super competitive as far as like pricing and rules, but as far as like it coming from an established Forex and CFD firm that was a big player that is a big player in that space, I think that's solid to say like, hey, it's not a random pop-up hole in the wall, white labeled, like just random stuff, right? Kind of like how Top One Futures came from Top One Trader. Long-standing, years paying out traders, couple $1 million in payouts in the Forex and CFD market. You know that it's coming at least from a team that has some experience managing, managing traders, right? And actually running a prop firm. It's not me, right? Like, hey, it's Zach. I figured out I want to be a prop firm now. So I went to create your own prop firm because they have these websites and just white labeled something. So, but as far as that, like what I've seen, I think they've also started to change up rules. Also seeming them to change up rules in a good way to make things like more advantageous. Bro, I'll go back. I'll go to pray and come back. Please don't do the giveaway. I'll come back. I'll pray. Don't worry about praying, man. For me, it's, I appreciate that, but it's the markets are the markets, right? You're going to have green days, you're going to have red days, and every day is not going to be a green day, right? I think one of the most powerful things is to recognize that and to just chill out and say, I'm going to run my system. I'm going to run my approach. I know I don't have a 100% win rate. whatever happens, happens. I just need to control myself. And like on Friday, for example, I took a loss first with you guys, and then I came back and took a win, but it didn't even outweigh the loss. I ended up like $250 red. That's cool. What's not cool is going, oh, it's Friday. I want to make progress. I don't want to end down $250 times 7. I'm going to hammer it. And I just size up and YOLO it, and then you blow the account. Just chill out and end it. And then what did we do yesterday? We came back and we ended green over the amount to make up for that one red day. And we had a whole bunch of other green days the prior couple weeks, right? So that's, I think, like the big thing. The markets are very random on the short term. You don't know what's going to happen next, and you don't need to make money. Quoting Mark Douglas there. Important to recognize. There it is. Red folder news, open paradox, impulse candle. Thanks for your response. Stuck on top between top 1 futures. Yeah, I mean, up to you. I would read the rule sets across all of them, and and decide. Avin Shaw, what's up, man? I think I've seen you in my Discord. Top 1 having issues. No, I don't think so. Their Discord not looking good. Your view. Yeah, here's what I've seen so far, right? Because I'm in that Discord often, and I've reviewed a bunch of different traders' situations that have going bullish today. Not sure just yet. We're sitting around VWAP. I've reviewed a bunch of different traders that have reached out to me, about different things, right? Anybody that feels that they're wronged or have any kind of issue, I always have that kind of open door, and I've spent a lot of time on it the last couple weeks. Up to this point, I've seen 0 traders that have been denied a payout that they were due. I've seen a lot of traders be considered and reviewed for live after 3 payouts, which congratulations if you made it that far. And the only issue that I see, any kind of issue that I see, is the delay. I think it's taking too long, and I've communicated that, right? I think the team's aware of that. I think they agree with it. Guys waiting a couple weeks for a decision on what happens next after taking their payouts, I think is a long time, right? As far as traders getting the boot after making it to 3 payouts based on what they did in sim, I reviewed somebody's situation yesterday that reached out, in detail, described everything that was going on, and I do not see any foul play or anything wrong with the firm's decision there. Here's the basic overview of kind of what happened in one situation that I can describe, right? And again, I'm not on the risk team. I don't get to see the trading. I don't have a say in this stuff. I'm a partner and affiliate, but I always like to act as a resource. And if I'm promoting something, right, or I'm talking about it here, I'm trading it, I stand to make money from a code or a link, I want to make sure that they are doing right by traders. And if I see them not doing right by traders, I want to speak up about it. In an instance where you get straight to funded accounts, and you come in and you YOLO the account every day off the start, and you string together a couple of green days, and then you inevitably blow that account, and then you start from scratch, and you do that across over a dozen accounts, blowing them and restarting in a very short amount of time, and then make it to a first payout, and in this case, slow down, and then take multiple payouts. When you get considered for live, and the firm says, hey, I don't think, that's a great idea. I don't think that's great trading in the sim environment. We're not going to consider you for a live account. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you have to trade well enough to be vetted and considered to be called up for a live account in the sim environment. Now, that's not the same across all firms. I know there's other firms out there that, you do whatever you do and you kind of just go crazy and you YOLO it or do whatever it is, trade super aggressively, and they call you up to live. I don't think that's super smart because a lot of those guys blow the live accounts. Like we've seen with Top 1, a lot of traders got called up live very quickly. And this is just from the outside point of view, right? We watched it across socials. I saw a lot of guys sharing it, and they blew it. There's almost no one left that had a live account initially that got called up very quickly that still has it. What does that tell you from the outside? Well, a lot of those guys probably didn't belong in live accounts to begin with. Maybe they intentionally blew them, or they just didn't have the skill set to actually manage a live account, right? A singular account. Maybe they're really good at trading aggressively in sim. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Again, it's individual situations. After three payouts from the same account, you're considered for a live account. That's the communication from them. What happens then? You get called up to a live account. Maybe you have some further review. Maybe they say, GG, you played a good game in sim. We didn't catch you. You're on your merry way. Like the dude who blew 300 accounts, right? Someone ran through sim farmed almost 300 accounts. So I think it was like 265 or 285 in like 60 days. And should they catch him earlier? Absolutely. Are they tightening rules and unfortunately having to flag people way earlier? Yes, and I do think that is on the responsibility of the firm, right? That guy should be stopped way earlier. It would help everybody involved, including the firm, from stopping him from doing more damage early on. But one thing that I definitely agree with is the time frame should be quicker, should be expedited. I think they've dealt with a lot of that, a lot of like crazy sim farming on the front end. I think guys know to take advantage of firms right when they open up because maybe they're just not well equipped to catch all their games. And I think they're trying to do that, but I've communicated that for sure. Well, let's go live. Avishal, the one who's commenting in YouTube, reach out to me, man. Hop in the Discord, shoot me a DM. You can click on my name from the Discord so you make sure it's the right person. And if you are willing to share all of your details, I'm more than willing to kind of hear where you're at. And if there's anything that I feel is, in my humble biased opinion, is done wrong, I'm more than happy to reach out for a second review. So far, I've done that for a couple traders, and have waited for, to hear back kind of what's gone on. I'm more than happy to try to be a resource. Again, it takes up an enormous amount of my time, but I do think it's a responsibility, right? If you're going to be a partner, you're going to be an affiliate, you want to make sure whatever you're promoting, whatever you stand to make money from is solid. And up to this point, hella bullish on top one. Hella bullish, obviously. So here we are back down to VWAP. Back down to VWAP. Let's see. Good morning, Rich Boy. Have no fear, I'm here. Rich Boy Trades. Legend. Yeah, bro. Happy to talk to you, man. Hit me up in Discord. Go to the main chat. Click my name. If you want to throw it all in the public chat, the way some guys did yesterday, as long as you don't mind me airing out everything that we talk about, we could talk about it all in public. I'm happy to do that. But you could throw it, you could DM me, right? Because I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions about your trading, blown accounts, what happened, just to try to get a feel. And even then it's tough, right? Because I really only can take your word for it. I don't get to see the stuff on the back end. I'm my own worst enemy. YOLO FOMO. Yeah, guys, this so far talking about the markets, we're talking about top one a little bit, talking about props. Back down to VWAP. This is not a lot, man. Crazy indecision, volatile candle on the 10 a.m. news. Back down to VWAP. We didn't trade out even the 50s. We didn't get close to sweeping overnight high. This is a lot of nothing for me. Kind of like yesterday off the open. So far, a whole lot of nothing. This is just chilling out, waiting to see what starts to happen from here. Retest of VWAP. It's looking weak. It's looking like we want to come back down through it. Like, I say this often, which is a stupid thing to say, but gun to my head, I'm short right now. If someone was here, which I hope I never have live on stream with you guys, and said, you got to go long or short, I'm probably short. I'm probably short towards prior day low, overnight low, stop loss, above those 55 somewhere. But right now it's just choppy. Not a lot of direction, right? Here's our 930 open. Bullish overall for the session, right? If we just look at this 930 open, popping up through VWAP, lower highs being put in, retesting VWAP, trying to find some buyers here, but this is just dead set in the middle of all of this and just not a lot of direction, right? So if I'm going to take a trade on this, it's going to be off an extreme, right? That's my game plan. Yesterday I was able to get into something that was a little bit more of a continuation. If something clean sets up, I could look for it, but we are almost completely flat on my cumulative volume delta. We got orders above here that haven't filled. Not a ton down below, but just not a whole lot of direction. Really not any type of a clean setup for me right now. It's chopping at VWAP. So when this happens for New York session, what I try to do is not make all the mistakes that I've made in the past, right? Where it's 10, 12 a.m. and I'm like, oh man, I've been sitting here. I was patient 45 minutes. I want to trade these accounts. I want to make it to a payout. I want to trade and make money and long it, like just for no reason, right? No setup, no clear direction, right? And those are the trades you go back and you go, what was I doing here? Why did I take a trade, right? I could make something up. I could always make a case for a long or a short, but it doesn't fit my approach. It doesn't fit my consistent approach that I attempt to apply to the markets. I utilize quite a bit of discretion, but there has to be some clear, reasoning behind it. And so far, nothing. So here we go, back up towards the highs, this little choppy channel that we're creating here. Let's kind of see where we go. Top G, what's up, bro? What's going on? What is going on? Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome. Oof. Yeah, we got some we got some guys talking about different stuff in my Discord. Yeah, guys, like, I'm always stick to your plan. I see the Discord talk about prop firms. I'm always happy to talk about prop firms, right? Because I'm here trading them, and I'm happy to talk about stuff that I'm hyped on and that, I'm a partner for. But I do feel like so much time is spent, so much time and energy is wasted on like drama and just he said, she said, and obviously all the firms and the CEOs compete with each other. So they all do this crazy negativity and fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So for me, I try not to waste too much time on it. I try to focus on trading itself. Obviously, you do need to focus on it a little bit. You need to keep your finger on the pulse. The space changes quickly. We need to know about these changes and weigh the different opportunities. But if you find yourself day in and day out just sitting on Twitter, listening to people argue with each other about different random things, I think you're probably taking time away from focusing on maybe your mindset around trading, right? Reading a solid psychology book, actually reviewing your trading over the last couple weeks. So just don't get lost in the sauce. That's my 2 cents. Bro, I think you need a video editor for your YouTube videos to grow more. What do you think about that? I think you're a video editor. And I think if I said, hey, man, I could use a good video editor, you're right, Top G, that you would have a nice price to give me to edit videos. That's what I think about that. No, I have a video editor that I'm very happy with. So I appreciate the input, but I do have a video editor that I'm happy with. Thumbnails as well. Not looking for any help there. But thank you. Thank you. Andrew says agree. Yeah. Again, man, you guys spend your time where you think it's helpful and useful for you. But I think a lot of time these days is just like crazy prop firm and trader drama. It's just like, I don't know, man. Maybe we should be talking about trading just a little bit. I don't know. Like maybe we just a little bit want to talk about the charts. We want to hop on here and talk about the markets themselves and actually trade live together. I don't know. What do I know? I'm an idiot. All right, let's see what we got rolling here. We're coming up into the 50s. Yeah, growing CVD. I don't love this for a short, guys. I really don't love this for a short. I think I'm going to sit patient, right? Here's my play. If we didn't do this and retest here and really bottom out down here around VWAP and then take off, if we didn't have that type of action and instead we just maybe kind of like hung out here for a second and then popped to the upside, I would like this for a short back down to VWAP. I really wouldn't mind it. This is choppy, but it is forming some bullish structure now. We are really taking off to the upside. We got some volume behind this. Obviously, you could see it even down here on the traditional volume. So I'm cautious here. The only real thing I have is a short play around that overnight high level. If I'm looking at kind of the last level of liquidity, it's going to be up near the 57.5, 60s. So I'm probably going to have to try something up there, but I got to say, it's not the cleanest. It's not the cleanest. Everybody's got something to sell. Yeah, they do. And a lot of them do it in a really weird, negative way. Not weird, but just not the way that I would go about it. What indicator are you using? It depends. What indicator are you looking at? Are we looking at the VWAP in the middle? Are we looking at the visible range volume profile over here on the right-hand side? Are we looking at the volume down on the bottom here? Because those are the three things that I have. After this, I'm watching anime. Yeah. Do your thing, man. ES Candle is looking to go for yesterday's New York high. Yeah, it does. It looks like we want to pop up here. It does look like we want to pop up here, right? We're looking bullish overall. I'm looking for one more like pop to the upside, and I wouldn't mind shorting this. Like I said, not crazy confident in it, but I wouldn't mind it. Let's say off the again, off that overnight high level, kind of a sweep of that level, I'd be looking short. The 55s do have quite a bit, and that's been sitting for a while, so I'm going to watch what happens as we come up higher here, guys. Eyeballing a potential short. Again, fading this overall, bullish structure, but I'm not looking at this that we just take off to the upside. If we do, I'm wrong. I take an L, no problem. We reject here without trading even out the 55s, near this overnight high level. It's just really going to invalidate everything for me, and I'm just not going to have much. So let's see. Just took a 14 risk and reward ratio trade. Cool. Okay, but your editor. All right. I don't know what that means, Top G, but again, I'm solid on a YouTube editor. I appreciate it. I'm also solid on don't need any bots for my chat. Thank you for whoever commented that one. Yeah. Want to buy a watch? Scott's got a watch to sell, everybody. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. This comes with growth, guys. On the candles, what are we asking, Muhammad? What I'm happy to answer. Brian C, what's up, brother? What are we looking at? I have 3 indicators on this chart showing right now. I have VWAP. This is volume weighted average price. Standard settings, just the color is changed. I don't mind to do a chart run through, right? What's plotted on my chart. This is volume profile visible range, VPVR, in the indicators tab. This gives a horizontal display of volume. It's dynamic. The settings that I have changed down here, this is the width, kicks it over to the right-hand side a little bit more, and I have the row size increased to 200, right? Down here, I just have traditional volume. This is literally just standard volume, VOL, on the indicators tab. That's it. Yeah, VWAP. This is VWAP. This is volume weighted average price, the standard session indicator. And what this gives you is exactly what it says, a volume weighted average price based on an anchor point. This is the session VWAP, the standard session VWAP, which starts at the session changeover, 6 p.m. Eastern. You can run anchored VWAPs. You can run different VWAPs that you like. But I do like this standard session one. What's up? What's up, Brian? Brian's got the the blast off symbol holding long from 45 until previous day high and beyond. Looking for some Pokemon cards. I have many. Ooh, we talking Pokemon cards? I'm gonna get sidetracked because this is going sideways. But chat, what do you think the under on me having some pretty solid Pokemon cards sitting on my desk right now? What do you think about that? I'm into Pokemon cards the way that most people are. The nostalgia of used to having a binder back in like the early 2000s, right? When we were all jacked up as kids. And they came back and made a run, and my brother-in-law got all jacked up on it. And we went and bought a bunch of packs of Pokemon cards. And in a degenerate way, I'm like, ooh, these might be worth money. And lo and behold, I pulled a pretty badass Pokemon card. The way you jump and say in Pokemon cards, I guess you got a lot. Here's the thing, Rich Boy Trades, I don't have a lot. But as we're watching this market come back down to VWAP and not do anything for me, I want to try to entertain you guys and show you what I got. I have like not a lot of Pokemon cards, right? We went for Christmas. I went for my brother-in-law to grab him a couple packs, and I got dusty packs from a flea market. Dusty individual packs. Now I'm like, yeah, we'll pull some Pokemon cards. It'll be fun, right? Anyway, we're pulling Pokemon cards. I get home actually after, and I'm pulling Pokemon cards. Check this bad boy out. Let me see if that can focus. I pull a fucking Charizard out of a pack of dusty Pokemon cards, and my brother-in-law goes, "Wait a minute, go ahead and get that one graded. Even if they're brand new out of the pack, they don't always get graded well." It's a fucking PSA 10 Charizard. PSA graded at a 10. So, no, if you ask me about Pokemon, like, I can't tell you anything. That one was fun, though. That one was fun. I also got this one that was pretty cool. I sent 3 in to get graded. This one got a 10, but it's not really worth anything. I just thought it was cool looking. And, whoa, may not break it. And this one was pretty cool. It was supposed to be worth something, but randomly it got an 8. That one got a PSA 8. There we go. Very distracted today. We're looking at Pokemon cards, but I'm proud of my random, like, couple packs pulled a PSA 10 Charizard. Oh, that was fun. Anyway, what's the street value for that? Let's see. I think it was like $1,000 when I first pulled it. And I was having like a tough day trading. I remember came out, was hanging out at nighttime, and ended up pulling a PSA 10 Charizard. I think they might be going for like $750 or $800. Back down to VWAP, man. I got nothing on this, which is why I'm yapping about Pokemon cards. I got nothing on this, guys. This is back down to VWAP. Didn't sweep my 55s. We did go trade out the 50s and come right back down, so shorts would have played. But just not a lot. Not a lot. Oh. Yeah, even watching Bookmap on this, guys, not a whole lot coming out of this. 317. Let's see. Yeah, not a whole lot coming out of this, guys. I'm getting back focused up on the market. That was fun, but yeah, if anybody wants to buy some Pokemon cards, I got you. If the markets get too slow, we'll just start pulling packs of Pokemon cards. That'd be fun. Yeah, guys, watching this thing. Yeah. This is so difficult to trade. Yeah, man. I agree. This is just not a lot, man. Just not a whole lot of opportunity here. We are holding bullish structure. Again, if I sold off the 50s, like dead set at the 50s, would that really have provided something? Not bad, 8.25 points. But 255 having a little bit more to the upside. I like that. Overnight high, would have been looking maybe off the 60s, but we didn't get that. Now we're back and forth to VWAP, and we start to take off from here. I just don't see a lot of opportunity for the day. This might be an afternoon type trade. I'm gonna hang out with you guys for a little while longer because I have no trade for the session so far, and I'd like to find something. If we start, the only other thing I can see is if we start to break VWAP, I mean, we are really looking. Yeah, this is looking somewhat weak. If we start to break down on VWAP here, I think we could be in for a little bit of selling pressure. I think if you were somewhat short biased, you didn't trust this move to the upside, you're watching continual hammers into VWAP, and you're looking short on this, I don't think this would be a bad play. You got a way to structure risk above session highs. Initial balance coming up in about 4 minutes. 3 minutes. This looks like a short play coming up here. I'm not going to jump in just because I don't like this risk structure, but this looks like a short play. This looks like we might want to sell off coming up right now. That's my intuition for the day. That's my gut. Let's see. Appreciate you guys hopping on, man. Again, if you don't know me, I'm here almost every damn day trading live 100% free. Yeah, gun to my head, guys, I'm short. I don't have a gun to my head, but I'm looking short through this VWAP. I think this breaks and we go and trade near the 30s. I just don't, it's not a trade for me. It's just not a setup. I don't have a middle of VWAP and I think it's going to break, so I throw a short on trade. But let's see how good my read of order flow is here. Again, I don't have this because I just don't think it's very high probability and it's not a good risk structure. So it's just not beneficial for me to throw trades like that on. But I would, if I was being a degenerate, I would throw something short on here. But again, I'm here almost every damn day, 100% free, live, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, showing you wins, losses, everything in between. Feel free, smash like, smash subscribe. You don't have to do anything. Do whatever you want. We're streaming on YouTube, Twitter, and Kick. I was going to say Twitch because I mess it up every time. And Kick. But appreciate you guys hopping on, man. Growing rapidly. It's crazy to see my view count for the last month. It's wild, man. Really wild. So I really appreciate everybody that hangs out. I put out long form on YouTube, a ton of tutorials on Project X, talking about top one futures, talking about trading itself, backtesting different stuff, everything that I find valuable. A ton of YouTube shorts. I'm on IG, there we go, and X, and I run the free trading Discord, 100% free trading Discord. So again, like I repeated myself a couple times here because I want to see how decent my intuition is. I think we break. That was the breakthrough. We got some volume there. This is just looking weak. But again, it's not a setup, right? I have to apply some consistency. I can't always just say, I think we're going to break, so I'm going to get long or short. I think we're going to do something, and I don't have a good way to structure risk. So, I'm going to just buy or sell, right? I don't think that's helpful. Probably going to close. Yeah. Giveaway today, maybe. Random days, random times. We gave out a 50K giveaway yesterday. I have multiple to give out. Let me throw the deal up. Multiple 50K giveaways every week. Instant funded, straight to funded accounts. No challenge, no activation fees. Shout out Top One Futures for supporting these. Very fun to do, but they're random days, random times. So I'm not gonna tease you guys too much, but you got to be on here. Random time, random day, form drops. You get a chance to win. So we give out multiple of those per week. Yo, you said Tokyo first. I'm here every day, but I'll show up a little late. I appreciate you. Love the info and live trading you give us. I appreciate that, brother. I really appreciate that. Poor lone wolf hasn't won at all. He will one day. W, bro. What's up? I appreciate you guys. Thank you. What's up, man? What's up, Nate? Tokyo, Nate. I don't know what you meant by Tokyo. No, I'm just kidding. He meant yo-yo. There it is. Yeah, guys, this is just a whole lot of nothing, man. A whole lot of nothing. Later into the session, maybe. But this just looks tough. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Grab some water. Yeah, chopping around VWAP, bouncing off of VWAP. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting, guys. Not a whole lot of opportunity. We got another VWAP bounce if you are a long off of VWAP trader. Ooh, a lot of strength showing on that one. So yeah, again, like I said, didn't take a short there, but obviously intuition not serving me too well on that. This is looking pretty strong. We just came through quite a bit of orders. Finally showing a little bit of strength out of this one. Let me take a look at this. Ooh. It's not a from the extreme trade, man, but this is starting to starting to move. Starting to move. Let's see. Let's see if we start to get some movement here. We might get something after all. See, we stayed patient. We might actually get something here. Let's see what we got. Chat, what's up? Yeah, Nate, man, had a tough day, right? Tough day. Dow's taking off like no one's business. Ah, is it? Is it running to the upside? NQ groveling around, barely. Yeah, yeah. Look at ES here, just chopping. Yeah, tilted blue the XFA. Guys, what do we talk about? I actually just made a video yesterday. I'll wait. I made a whole video about setting risk parameters. Aaron passed the 25K eval. Beautiful, dude. Awesome. Shout out to Aaron. Congrats. Awesome, man. Taking it slow on the small account. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Nate got 3 on backup. Beautiful. That's a tough one, Nate. Payout eligible, up 1,600. Decided to trade big and got chopped and cooked myself. That's a tough one, brother. It's a tough one. And I know you've been down that road before. Overconfidence get you cooked, and I changed my DLL. Yeah, that's the death sentence, dude. That's the death sentence. Listen, man, you know what you need to do. Slow it down. Set the person daily loss limit. Lock yourself out every single day. There's no excuse not to do it. If you struggle with tilt at all and you're trading on Project X, Nate's trading with Top Step on Project X. You have the risk parameters. Just use those guardrails. Don't have an ego with that stuff. It's my opinion. It's not the end all be all. It's not going to solve everything, but it'll help you. Help you build the right habits of managing risk well. Yeah, I'm back down being tempted on this short again after watching it start to drive. Yeah, I think I got to keep myself patient on this. I want to get something on here, but Bookmap not helping me that much. Choppy, man. What the hell am I supposed to do with this, guys? Where's 930? I mean, I guess off the 50s, I guess long off of VWAP would have paid a couple times. You could have went stop loss to break even, I guess, but I just not enough of the test of the extremes or continuation. Yeah, man, this is just not beautiful. Let's see. I'm interested in this short. I really am. Big order back up. For those of you that read the Dom, big order back up around the 50 and a half. Yeah, man, 876. What are these guys doing on the book? Yeah, I got a little bit of indication, but I've had it a couple times, and this is just not clean. This is just not clean, guys. So I'm not gonna jump into anything. It's looking good to the downside every time we came down here earlier than this, right? Breaking VWAP. This has been choppy. We found buyers off it every time. It does look weak. We started to get some volume. This looked like we wanted to really bounce here. We got very wiggly right there. But I think I'm just going to be hanging on this. I just don't see a lot of opportunity here. Maybe into the afternoon, we kind of do whatever the hell we're going to do and then start to pick a direction and actually move, or we come out to the extremes a little bit, give me a better way to structure risk. I want to see what happens if we start to sell off on this. So I'm not going to go anywhere just yet. But if we stay in this range for much longer, I'm not going to stare at the chart for too much longer. Just not a whole lot of opportunity, and I love to be taking trades with you guys. It's just when the market does this, I just don't have good opportunity. Let's see. Yup. Nathan's trading a couple combines to stack up. Yup. Beautiful. First day of the month, does that mean the market's going to be choppy? Sometimes, right? I mentioned that a couple times. I talked about it in Discord. First day of the month, first day of the quarter, financial news coming later this week. All of that could be a choppy, indecisive type of a day. But it's not enough for me to say, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen, right? Like that's definitely what it's going to be. We're just going to chop. We're just going to be, a trend day based on, this is going on. But yeah, sometimes just a lot of repositioning and kind of just choppiness. But we do have later into the week quite a bit of financial news. So end of holiday, right? So I'm not coming into this week with heavy expectations, looking to just do anything crazy. While we're hanging out, guys, I'll drop the link. The nice deal just ended, I will say. The big solid deal from Top 1 Futures just ended. The 55% off. But in between now and 4th of July, because I'm assuming they're going to run something for 4th of July. Don't know, can't confirm anything. I think they're going to run something solid for 4th of July. But right now they got 40% off the eval accounts. Let me see if I can pull this up. Really inexpensive eval accounts. I don't really talk too much about these because I think personally the instant funded stuff is a better option. I like the opportunity to not have to take challenges. But if you are somebody maybe like the gentleman here that was trading the 25K, you just don't want to put a lot of money on the line, but you also don't want to trade demo. Maybe you're at that early stage of your trading where you want to come off of demo, but you're like, what's the least amount of money that I could trade on a sim account for? You could trade a 50K account for $60. I think that's a pretty solid opportunity to just get your feet wet. But go to the site. Link is in the chat if you'd like to. Code RDF gets you this deal. Again, better than the email, better than what's on the site, better than all the other promo stuff. I think it's 35% off everywhere. RDF gets you 40. You want to check that out. Link is in the chat. Outside of that, again, the big deal ended yesterday. I think Friday I would have your alerts on to take a look. You could hop in my Discord. You'll be the first to know. Something nice should be rolling out. But the eval accounts are pretty heavily discounted right now at 40% off. But again, these do have, a challenge, right? You're not straight to funded with these ones, and you have an activation fee. So head to the site, read the rules, make that decision for yourself. Along with that, straight to funded 50K account giveaways every dang week here on my live sessions, live on YouTube, Kick, and X for a while. Gonna be testing some different platforms, seeing where people want to hang out and watch. But I love to give back to the community. Happy to give back to you guys that are on here supporting me, hanging out. And we'll be doing multiple. Random days, random times, no purchase necessary, form drops. You get a chance to win. But remember, guys, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with Top 1. I can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. Important to be transparent about that. Easy to say, easy to note, right? I think if everybody just did that, the world would be a lot easier. Very simple. Let's see, Nate. Yeah, discipline. Talking about discipline. You guys are talking about a good conversation in chat for those of you guys that are on YouTube. And this is why I like having the community, man. It's really solid because this stuff is tough. And that's the tough stuff, man. That's the tough stuff. Zach, any idea when Top 1 is getting DOM or level 2 data with Project X platform? I don't know, my brother. It's something that multiple partners and people have mentioned. They're aware of it. I would love for them to have it, but they just don't have it yet. You can set up the DOM. as a component here on Project X, but they don't allow a subscription just yet to level 2 data. I'm assuming soon, but I'm not gonna tell you to hold your breath for it because it's been a while already. So I'm not exactly sure when that's gonna come. So it would be nice to have, and it's a good reminder. I'm actually just setting a little note. I'm gonna ask about that today. It'd be great to have that. Get some full MBO data here on Project X. It'd be cool to have that. Yeah, man, not a lot out of this market. Not a lot. Awesome. Yeah, of course, man. No pressure. We come back up on this? Or is that what we're going to do? We're just going to come and continue to chop? Or are we actually going to sell off here? I'm interested. Somebody was watching Dow and NQ. You guys go ahead and tell me. I'll ask you, chat, while I'm watching ES. What are the other indices doing? What's everybody else looking like? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. You guys looking at this to the upside, to the downside? You looking straight chop, a whole lot of nothing? There we go. Both down around below VWAP now. There we go. We might get some selling pressure. What about multi-screen? It's another good question. Being able to set up charts across multi-screen or like desktop version. I don't know. For me, that's not like a deal breaker. I don't mind the nice big one screen type of deal. You can set up multi charts, right? You can set your layout up here, and you can run multiple charts within this layout, and you can really run that across a large screen. So I think that's a decent offering, but it would be cool to be able to have a whole bunch if you wanted to just run 47 screens. I don't know. The other really two big things for me on Project X that I would like personally, I do like Project X. I really do. There's some things I don't love about it. Two other things that I just don't know why I've taken them so long is custom bracket orders. Like if you want to set a limit order, I can have a custom stop loss and take profit. That just is like a no-brainer. And then also a little bit more advanced automated trade management, right? So like different settings for trailing stop losses, auto break even with an offset, auto break even with the option to trail. That stuff I think is really helpful and pretty simple. I just don't know why it's not available like across Project X yet. They also opened up API and like nobody really did anything with it. So I don't know how to code. Maybe you guys know how to code. You want to code on Project X's website. I think there's a huge opportunity. What I really thought was going to happen was Project X opened up API access, and I figured that a couple of like coding developers or some company was going to emerge and sell like a package with all of these additional things that we all want Project X to have. But they just haven't done that. So I don't know. You could take that as you will, but if you know how to code, you know somebody that knows how to code. Like I even put feelers out there a couple of times. I was like, if you know how to code and you're a developer, like I'll pay you, code the stuff for me and maybe I'll license it or something. But I just don't have time to do all that. It's not really what my game plan is to do. But anyway, yeah, there's a couple things on Project X that I just don't know why we don't have. But specifically for top one, level 2 data. I don't know why we don't have an option for that just yet, but I'll reach out to my contacts about that. The other stuff, everything is set in development for forever, and they're kind of just dragging their feet on it. I love having a trading view chart. I think it's pretty fast. Yeah, selling off, man. Selling off. Here we go. Sitting patient, man. No trade, an hour into this session, just hanging out with you guys. Would really like to be able to run this bad boy. Down to liquidity. Yeah, there we go. How far down, rich boy? That's somebody's name in YouTube. I'm not just arbitrarily calling somebody on the stream rich boy. You guys and your funny YouTube names. 62.27 and a quarter, 62.27 and a half. Yeah, we got 100 down here. 100 down here at overnight low. This is just not super clear. I don't have a level that's getting hit. I have no level on my chart that's been hit yet, right? So I would be trading off of the middle of levels. Like no area of interest has been hit for me. And I also didn't have any real clear area of liquidity on Bookmap that I could work off of. I also don't have any real big movement that would take me to the extreme where I could trade back to the middle ground the way that I like to do here on ES. Hence, no trade. This is just if I did anything in here really up to this point and I took an L, the journal would read, why did you take that trade, right? What was your plan here? Why did you jump into something when you had no setup? You didn't wait for the market to come to you. You just wanted to make money and you jumped in imposing that on the market. So for me, I just don't have anything here. Yeah, I think bounce off the 30s then long. Okay, there you go. We're looking Nate's looking 30s off the 30s, then maybe long. CJ tried to open his second tab. Yeah, it's Project X. It's Project X that doesn't support it, right? Like same way that you can't have your phone running Project X and Project X on like a desktop, it kicks you out. Same thing. Yeah. Down to liquidity. ES just hit yesterday's value area low. Interesting. Yeah, but I'm going to be testing Motive Wave. Set up with Motive Wave. I'm going to be trading on Motive Wave. So I'll be letting you guys know what that platform looks like. Native iOS. They have a mobile app that syncs, which is cool. Some check boxes that I wanted, and they have really advanced automated trade management, which I like. I don't know what I'm going to think of the chart. What the indicators are going to look like, but they have quite a bit of order flow tools as well on there, which I think will be cool. But I'll be testing that for some live account stuff. Watching this thing continue to sell. Yeah, there's not a lot, guys. Not a whole lot on the first day of the month here. Let's run the poll. Let's run the poll. All right, poll is on the YouTube stream. What do you guys think? Long America or short it to hell? Which way you guys going with it? Interested to see your thoughts. And again, while we're hanging, guys, if you want to hop in the free Discord, link is down below this video. Would be more than happy to have you in there. I'll throw that banner up. Almost 2,000 members. Again, we talk about pretty much everything under the sun as far as it relates to trading, prop firms, platforms, issues, good stuff, bad stuff. But what I really enjoy is some of what we've been talking about here in the chat. Traders that are on their journey, doing well, passing accounts, but, we have tough days, have really tough days. And then also the triumphs. Guys making it to multiple payouts, right? It's awesome to see. So I think it'd be powerful to have a community like that. And again, happy to do it free. I have to deal with a lot of BS doing it for free, scammers and spammers and craziness, but I think it's pretty sweet. So I run it through Whoop, where you have to throw an email in there, but I don't sell anything. I don't have any paid Whoop subscription or VIP or anything like that on there. Yeah, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know about this. All right, let's see what you guys say. Somehow 54% of you said long America, though. But the rest of you said third option, chop. Chop, then end of day push. Okay, yep. That's probably what I would have to go with. Down, down, down. My opinion of right is not there. Yeah, Wolf says to the right. Okay, I don't think you get me wrong. Short everything. Maybe I'm a downer. Yeah, I don't know on this one, guys. It looks like we got some selling pressure, obviously, right? I just see this thing chopping around, attempting to drift lower. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Yeah, hanging out with you guys. Again, I'm going to give this a little bit longer. I'd like to see some kind of movement, but so far we haven't gotten too much. I don't know that I would want to long this off of like the 27.5. because I think if we sell off, we could really aggressively get down to the 20s. Yeah, here's my framing it for the rest of the day. Let's talk about it. Someone hopped on and said, I don't know what you're asking here, brother. I'm new to the stream. Welcome. Can you walk me through what's going on? I without giving you a whole overview, a more specific question I can help answer. Otherwise, feel free to just kind of hang out and you'll pick up what I'm looking at, right? Without me doing explain how I trade from scratch every couple minutes. But you can hang out here. All the streams stay up also. You can go back and watch past streams. A ton of videos on my YouTube also. So looking at this to the downside, let's throw the good old horizontal ray. I could see looking for potential longs off of this level. This would be a sweep down below overnight low, prior day low, and a pickup of some liquidity. I think this also closes the gap. Yep. Comes down here and trades into this area of consolidation, a couple tops and bottoms over here. So it lines up with market structure, lines up with some volume. I could see aggressively looking long off of this. I say aggressively because this is me pushing to the downside here. We'd be selling off, and I would be counter to that immediate trend, right? So I would probably be looking long off of the 20s if we made it down here. If we drifted down here on a declining, CVD, like just picking up liquidity and structure looks really clean, I don't know that I just long a downtrend. But if we wicked down here, if we started to sell off really aggressively, did something crazy, and we wicked down here, I could see aggressively getting long for a pop back up, right? Give me a way to structure risk maybe on the way up. Downside to that is you can get your face ripped off very quickly, and I'm running about a 10-point stop loss here in ES. So that would be to the downside. If we continue to the upside, conversely, looking at Bookmap, yeah, if we continue to the upside, I'm going to be hard pressed to press the short button nowadays. Now into the session. I'd really have to see some changes. I don't know exactly where I'd be looking short off of this, to be completely honest. If we cracked, let me see. Yeah, if we cracked like the 55s, we cracked overnight high, maybe. We got 150 on the book up here, 55, so maybe up to this overnight high level. I could see a reversion back down to VWAP, but this is kind of choppy. And I think when we do finally make a decision, we're either going to sweep a high or a low and then continue in the opposite direction, or we're going to just start trending out of this area of consolidation. And I don't know that that's going to present a really beautiful setup. Like, again, if we aggressively crack to the upside here, I wouldn't mind looking short on this, but probably off of this overnight high level. That's what I'd be looking at. So that's kind of framing out some trade ideas for the rest of the day. Let's throw something up here. Alerts are going to be set at these levels, the 55 and I'm going to set an alert in here just in case we start selling off aggressively. Alerts would be set at these levels, but we'd be really cracking this to the upside, and it's just not super clean today, just for me, right? You might say, this is beautiful, Zach. I made a ton of money today. And that's cool, right? It could sell off until it reaches, we talked about that. What goes up must come down. Yep. You can get a sell with the retracement. You can get sell with retracement, I think, bro. Yeah, maybe. You can hop into a short now, right? You can come back up to VWAP and say, hey, this is getting ready to sell off. I'm looking short, but just not anything too crazy for me. Oh, no, brother. I did not take a trade yet. You can see it up here. This is shaping up to be one of the much fewer no trade sessions that I've had, because now I'm taking multiple trades, but this is just ugly. But you'd see it up here. I hop on with almost always a fresh set of accounts. If not, I talk about it, but I'm no trade for the day. No trade for the morning. Glad to hear my statement. Getting my face ripped off is still popular. Yeah. Face ripper, right? But yeah, I like to say that. Like, the way that I enter trades pretty aggressively, if prices come into the upside and I'm entering really like at a level without waiting for price action or market structure to really shift or do anything crazy, you make for a good entry, really good entry price, but you run the risk of getting your face ripped off because price doesn't have to stop when you hit the buy or sell button. And so that will happen to me, right? I'll hit the buy or sell button, right at whatever level, and immediate stop out, right? As will happen to all of you if you trade for long enough. That's just part of this game. But yeah, you get your face ripped off sometimes. So I like that. I like that saying, the face ripper. Yep. Yeah. So what are these crowns on YouTube? Yeah. So I think it's like an XP. Like whoever chats the most, not to encourage you guys to spam it, but whoever chats the most gets a crown 1 through 3, and then there's a leaderboard. That's kind of interesting. Cool, Scott, you're winning today. Good job. Everybody else, pick it up. No, yeah, this is a nice fun stream hanging out with you guys, but again, just not a whole lot. I'm tempted to hang out and not go anywhere because I might get something, and the market loves to do that to me. Like I hop off stream, I hung out patiently with you guys, waiting for like something to set up, and then as soon as I end the stream, the market like starts to rip, and I'm like, oh, here we go, great. Obviously, I love to be throwing trades on stream with you guys, not just sitting here not doing anything. But not a lot of this, man. Staying cash, staying flat, scalping away like crazy. But every once in a while, I have one of these. Yeah, I need a win today. I'm moving to Atlanta. Nice. Yikes. Looks like I might fall off a cliff. Spam time. No, no spam. No spam, guys. Interesting. Yeah, just not a lot of movement out of this market today. Yesterday was pretty choppy. I ended up okay, right? Got short. Ended up working out for me, but this is kind of choppy. Been thinking about making the switch to futures from CFDs. Any tips? Yeah, switch. No, it depends on where you're located, right? What opportunity you're going for. In my humble opinion, futures is a much better opportunity than CFDs for a number of reasons. The tips, if you were just considering to make the switch and not why you would want to, would be to just get familiar with the futures market. It is different, right? Contracts, lot sizing. Ticks versus pips, these types of things for risk management are important. So I would just go through the basics. I would open up a demo account and I'd play around. If you want to trade on minis versus micros, what your risk per trade looks like. CFDs can be, a little bit more flexible in position sizing. So that's probably a big difference. But yeah, futures are sweet. Took long on gold, small 2R trade. Nice. Made $183. Beautiful, dude. Melt. All right, you guys looking for the melt? Let's see. I need to win a free account today because I plan to get married soon. So this would be the most beautiful. Oh man, congratulations! I think that's way cooler and better than the free account. Congrats, brother. That's awesome. That's awesome. Chopping here, chopping, waiting for this market to do something. You know that meme where it's like, "Come on, do something." It's the guy with the stick. That's kind of me with this market today, man. Just not a whole lot. Not a whole lot going. I've noticed most public futures traders are scalpers. I tend to hold longer trades. Is scalping the meta for futures or something? Yeah, it's melting in 35. It's melting. All right, you guys are calling for the melt, huh? Let's see it. I don't know. We're back to VWAP. You guys are looking short on this, heavy, huh? Interesting. We got a consensus in chat. Short it to hell is at 55%. All right, I'm gonna hang out for a minute. We're gonna have to see. You guys are heavy on the short side here, so this is interesting. Usually you're all long America, so I'm gonna watch what happens here. But if you guys have questions, you want to yap about trading, feel free to ask in the chat. I don't mind hanging out. Watching this market do something. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap it up for the day. But I've noticed, yeah. So we're talking about futures versus CFDs and forex and stuff like that. Got somebody else call and go long. Interesting. Yeah, no. So futures are popular for intraday trading because the margin requirement to hold overnight is very high, very high. For day trading, it's pretty low, and you can have access to some pretty solid leverage, right? If you want to trade live personal, accounts. In the prop firm space for futures, it's almost non-existent to be able to hold overnight, to be able to swing trade. I think there's only a couple firms that offer it, but almost every other one take you out of positions and liquidate you at the close of the session, NYSE. Usually it's like 4 or 4:10 p.m. Eastern. So for those reasons, if you are a swing trader multi-day and you don't want to trade like stocks and equities, which I think would be a pretty good medium for that, I think that's one of the only spots that Forex and CFDs would have an advantage. But outside of that, when you look at reliable data across the board coming from centralized regulated exchanges, reliable volume data, the ability to use order flow, all the things these things are present in the futures market, not in the Forex and CFD market. It's also very inexpensive, right? There's almost no spread to pay, like at all. It widens out a little bit during high volatility times, but essentially it's just the bid and ask. If you just look at it right here, you can see it on the right-hand side of the chart. It says 0.25. Every once in a while, we flash towards like the 2 ticks of spread, but it's nothing like it's nothing like in the Forex and CFD market. Be brave. No, I don't think it's a matter of being brave or not being brave. You can hop on here and find this out for yourself. Your average win rate over a long period of time. Hop on here and you'll watch that play out over a long period of time. You could also just take a look at all my live sessions on here. I do it live, so I don't have to tell you guys anything or show you a screenshot or some journal from a short period. Back through VWAP. All right, what happened to the shorts, guys? You guys were calling heavy short on this bad boy. Melting? Well, I don't know. We were looking heavy short. Somebody said get long. Go run CH says long from here. I don't know. Whole lot of nothing for me, really. That's why I'm just hanging out, yapping with you guys. That's what I'm seeing. Back to VWAP. Back to VWAP chop. Not me, ain't staying short. Nice. It's got some people looking long. This is choppy, right? Like here, let's map it out again, guys. This is why I'm no trade for me. Personally. Here was 9:30 a.m., right here. Here is our low of the session. We're going to drag that over, and here's our high of the session. This is what the session looks like so far. That, to me, is just not a lot of opportunity. Trading from the extremes, which I like to do, would have played okay, but this isn't an extreme for me, right? Like this isn't a level or area of interest that would have been hit. The 50s did get hit, but not on this first push to the upside or anywhere in here after retesting VWAP multiple times. That's the closest I could see. This started to look good back down here and almost enticed me in back through VWAP, but no continuation, right? Really no continuation. So kind of a 20-point range, chopping back and forth, continuing to retest VWAP. To me, just pure speculation out of this consolidation, I would have to agree with the guys saying short. Like, again, gun to my head, I said this a couple times, short. It wouldn't have paid just yet. I don't know that it would have been stopped out on a stop loss above here, but this is looking heavy. It's looking like we want to break down towards the 20s today. We want to go and sweep prior day low, close that gap. That's kind of just my speculation. Here we go, coming to test these lows again. But from the middle of an area consolidation, just arbitrarily saying I think it's going to go one way and throwing a stop loss above or below price, I don't know that that's a super good way to trade, right? I don't think that's super consistent. So I've hung out here now. It's past 11 o'clock. I'm still hanging out with you guys. I want to see if we start to move, and then, maybe I get a trade, maybe I don't. By the time we're selling off here now, someone says, can we see Bookmap? Yeah, hang on one second. Let's see. Selling off pretty aggressively. Yeah, let me go ahead and share Bookmap with you guys. It's melting. There we go. Let's see. Let's take a look at Bookmap here. Chat, you guys like seeing Bookmap over, like, it's no skin off my back to show you Bookmap. You guys like seeing Bookmap more than the trading screen? More than a candlestick chart? Or you just like swapping back and forth? Just out of curiosity. Because I do have people that ask for it often. But here's what we're looking at on Bookmap. One thing that's interesting to watch, right? What I've been talking about a little bit more, watching CVD declining pretty heavily. We got negative up here, even as we started to come up through VWAP again. We didn't see this cumulative volume delta really start to push, indicating we don't have buying volume outweighing selling volume. We have the opposite. Here we are selling off. Again, to the downside. Why am I looking towards the 20s? Outside of it being overnight low, prior day low, now that I finally got my overnight low in the right area. If you go back, you'll see I had overnight low marked in the wrong spot. Kind of the last ditch area where we got a little bit of liquidity to the downside that's been on through the morning. It's not a lot, and as you can see, it's not really lit up because we do have quite a bit on the book today. I could adjust this to make it look a whole lot different. But past that, if I'm dead wrong off the 20s, I think we'd be selling all the way back down towards like the 6,200s, sweeping below that level. Like that would be a pretty nice correction, which may happen, right? We may get that this week. But here's what Bookmap's looking like right now. Again, looking weak, out of consolidation after chopping back above and below VWAP 100 times. Not really a good trade. I'd be looking aggressively long, but I don't like it as much. The same way as we started to grind to the upside pretty nicely and form bullish structure. Now we're starting to grind to the downside and form bearish structure. Here we go, starting to sell off into the 20s. Let me go ahead and switch screens back, guys. This way, if I do get a trade on, you guys get to see it. But let's see, what do we got today? Selling pressure. Can we get a close of the gap? A sweep down below these lows over here, maybe in some reaction. Let's see. NQ still looking heavy. It's melting. Let's go. Like I said, down. There we go. The melt boys back in town. Something back and forth, reaching today's low. Here we go. Let's see it. Putting in session lows right now on ES. Starting to sell off. Let's see what we get. Here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, though. You know the drill. Smash like, smash subscribe. Feel free. I'm on here 9:30 a.m. Eastern almost every damn day. Aren't ES and NQ almost the same? Why are you trading ES, not NQ? They are similarly correlated assets, but I wouldn't say they are the same. I prefer ES for a number of reasons, but it's just that. It's a preference. I don't think one's better than the other. I think NQ is a very popular instrument in the futures market. mainly because it's a popular instrument and just a lot of people see other people trading NQ. Same thing with ES, right? But for ES, for me, I think it's a lot slower moving. It seems to respect levels a little bit cleaner. The ability to structure risk, if I'm trading minis, is a little bit more flexible, right? It's just not as volatile. And I just like the movement better. So personally, it's just a preference. I don't think there's any one best thing to trade. I think if you want to trade gold or crude oil or whatever, something else, Dow, I think that could be pretty solid for you. But I've been pretty heavily focused on ES for a while. I bounced back and forth between NQ and YM. I did have experience trading those as CFDs before coming over to futures, but I like ES. I do like ES, but personal preference, right? And even as I'm describing that stuff, I always note like it's subjective, right? How would I really quantify that it respects levels cleaner or it doesn't pull as much wiki BS movement the way that I like to talk about NQ? It's hard to say that, right? It's just my opinion. So that's my comment there. Let's see. Starting to sell off. Yeah, I'd look for it off the 20s, guys. I wouldn't mind it off the 20s. Slow moving, though, man. Slow moving. There we go. Little bit of volatility to the downside. Again, guys, I'd be looking to buy off these lows. We got quite a bit of liquidity that we're coming into here on Bookmap. Again, I'm showing you my screen again. Nobody really asked if the answer when I was asked if you guys like Bookmap or this better. I'm showing you this screen because I like to show you execution, right? If I'm going to take a trade, I love to do it right here live with stops, targets, so you guys can see everything. No hiding behind another screen or something like that. But let's see here. I'm watching Bookmap pretty intently. Trading 62.30s here. I think we crack to the 25s. I just don't know if we crack to the 20s. Either that or we just get close to this overnight low and we bounce right back up. But again, I'm looking pretty aggressively long on this. Yeah, shorts would have played. You guys saying short up here, looking short on this. Very nice. The guys that were looking long, not so much, but that's part of trading, right? You put your trades on, trade your approach, trade your system. That's all we can do. Can't win every single day. Watching this. Again, it's kind of staring at Bookmap here. This is going to be interesting. Got a little bit of movement, though. This is going to be my last ditch. If we don't really move to a level that I want to see and give me an entry, pretty quickly, I'll end up wrapping it up. Let's see. What's up, chat? Bookmap is super interesting. I want to know more about it, but I'd rather see the actual trading screen. Yeah. Yep. Same, right? You guys want to actually see executions. Called it. Get some. Nice. Rich boy getting short. Beautiful, man. Down to the 30s. Very nice. 359 up on gold. Nice. Really focusing on my risk. Now getting back from 156 back down to 151. Cool. Yeah. Focus on your risk. Helpful to do. Use it as a tool. I think it's important to note that, but become a good risk manager. Hey, man, I'll open your top one futures link. Won't open the page. Here, ready? I'll link it here for you. Hang on one second. Here is the link to top one futures if you want to check it out. Code RDF. Something else that you mentioned there. Australia. No, I don't know if Australia is a banned country. I don't think so. As I'm watching this not come down to my area again, let's find out if Australia is banned on or a restricted country. Hang on one second. Let's see. Countries limitations. No. You should be good. Should be good, brother. On their site, on their frequently asked questions, they're not showing anything there. So I'm not sure. If you still have the problem, man, hit me in Discord or something. Let me know. I'm interested to hear why. New might be in the futures space. Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, we like futures here. Right back up off the overnight lows here, guys. Right back up off overnight lows. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. This is just not a lot for me. Nothing getting hit, unfortunately. Would like to have seen this area be tapped before we come right back up here to VWAP. I'm not looking to get short on this. If you missed an opportunity and you're looking to get short because you think we're gonna just sell off here, this might not be a bad spot for you. But I'm just gonna sit patient. I'm gonna set some alerts down here. We come back down here. I'm going to be looking long, very simply. Depends on how we get down here. We start to pump. If we come all the way back up through this, I think we might drive higher. And so I'm going to be cautious hitting the short button if we come all the way up to these highs. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Just not a whole lot. No trade on the stream. Not common that I've been running these anymore, but just not a lot of opportunity for me, right? Very choppy. We did finally start to drift to the outside, start to come to the... come south, but not enough for me to look short or long on this bad boy. So in any event, appreciate you guys hopping on. Smash like, smash subscribe. Like I've mentioned multiple times on the stream, we do have 50K accounts getting given away every single week. Random days, random times on the stream. Appreciate you guys being here. Feel free to hop in the free Discord. Link is in the chat. Not a course, not a VIP feeder program, none of that stuff. I give you it all free here on YouTube. All the sauce, everything that I possibly can. Appreciate you guys. Thanks again for being here. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Talk to you guys soon. See you live here tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Trade well, my friends.